It's track reviews.
Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review, a track review of the brand new single from Iowa metal outfit Slipknot. New album on the way, We Are Not Your Kind, new 14-track album, and Unsainted is the name of the first single, the teaser track from this new record. As you guys may recall, was not really all that crazy for the last Slipknot album, although I don't know. I think Corey and the boys they could pull through on another one because the
self-titled
record is certainly fire. Iowa, in my opinion, is certainly fire as far as alternative and new metal goes. So who knows? They might have another killer record in them. Let's give this one a shot. Slipknot, Unsainted, ba-bam. So that song that I just heard, yeah, I thought it was decent. It was okay. I mean, it was certainly better than a bulk of what was on the Gray chapter a few years ago. Really, that was back in 2014, so it's like 5 years ago at this point we had a Slipknot record. But still, certainly better than a lot of what was on that album. The production, I think, was a little heavier in comparison with what was on that record, as I thought a bulk of the music on the Gray chapter, as far as the recording goes, sounded kind of weak for Slipknot, a little watered down. This definitely had a bit more girth. Even though Slipknot are definitely back in their element on this new single, I feel like to get there, all we've really done is gone back to the most basic Slipknot formula, and we're just essentially painting by the numbers with the very quick, gruff riffs, the soaring, clean vocals on the chorus, Corey then going into, of course, that fusion of rapping and screaming that he typically does on the verses, sounding manic as hell. I would say the most refreshing thing on this entire track is really the very chaotic and noisy bridge, whose blast beats and guitar phrases sounded vaguely black metal inspired, but outside of that, not a whole lot of anything new or exciting coming from Slipknot here. I feel like they've just met the bare minimum on this track, essentially. Even on the lyrical front, I'm not really getting a whole lot out of this track. The whole deal about finally holding on to letting go grammatically doesn't really make much sense, but I guess I can kind of get what Corey is trying to say there in terms of the contrast of holding on versus letting go and so on and so forth. But still, it just seems like a really weak line. Beyond that, in a lot of verses, of course, you have a lot of imagery of villains and religious iconography and lonerism and suffering and pain and weathering the storm and so on and so forth, which lyrically have been themes that have come up throughout many a Slipknot song over the years. So really, it's not like they're approaching anything new lyrically either, I would say. But hey, you know, if their message is something that motivates you and gets you pumped up and gets you ready to just deal with all the crap the world is throwing at you, then, you know, I guess it is what it is. You know, it's this scratches that itch, this serves that purpose. But again, even though maybe this is like a slight return to form in terms of quality and consistency for Slipknot. Again, not anything all that inventive or exciting. So, yeah. And I guess comparatively, this isn't really one of the best songs the band has written either. There's any number of tracks off of their debut, but not debut, the self-titled, I mean, as well as Iowa, that just completely crushes this song in terms of catchiness, in terms of ferocity, in terms of quotable and instantaneously memorable lyrics. Also in terms of Slipknot being as large a band they are and just hearing a wider variety of instrumentation and just all of the members involved. I mean, if that is the case on this new track, input from members outside of sort of the core of vocals and guitars and drums are not very audible and don't seem to have that much presence. So yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. It's an okay song. It's an okay track. Album on the way soon, obviously. You can check out another track review over here next to my head, either that or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, We Are Not Your Kind, Unsainted, Slipknot, forever.